Hi everyone, it's Evelyn Graciela from English Department 2018 of Udayana University. It's really nice to see you all again for this video, and I hope you guys are in a really good conditions, of course. So anyway, in this video, I'd like to share a bit about a poem in which I chose it about a week ago. So basically, this poem belongs to one of my classmates named Tata. She was a really good poetry writer for me and also story writer. So I decided to choose her work at the very first place. It's like a love at the first sight for me when I saw her works. So yeah. Anyway, I'd like to also say a really big thanks to our beloved poetry analysis lecturer, Ms. Levisati Sutama. If you're watching this, I'd like to say a really big thank to you for giving us such a great opportunity, such a great experience for us to assess our creativity through making our own masterpiece through poetry making. So without any further ado, let's just make it straight and jump into the main content. So this is the cover of her poem. Now I'm going to read this poem for you, and the title is Ephemeral. You were a seagull, and you liked me because I was a sunset. You used to meet me at the end of the sea, clueless with your silhouette. You touched me with your dance, but you suddenly decided to leave because I didn't last long. You left me eaten by the night, replaced by the moon, enshrouded by the stars. So I'm going to tell you the story behind this poem, and also I'd like to give a brief analysis to it. So I can simply define that this poem is a sad, tragic romance poem about temporary feeling of happiness, beauty or aspect, and also the feeling of satisfaction. So there are two characters in this poem, which are the seagull and the sunset. The seagull represents he. So we can easily think or assume that he refers to the person or someone that the sunset or the writers like or admire at the very first place, while the sunset represents the writer. So this seagull loves the aesthetic or beauty of the sunset, yet it gives the sunset a false sense of hope. A false sense of hope in which the writer hopes that he or the seagull will stay with her until the end of the day. Yet, the sunset gives him a temporary beauty and feeling. So, since it was temporary, in the end he decided to leave because there's nothing left, but only the endless darkness or the night. The seagull, let's say that this seagull is attracted by the temporary feeling by the sunset, yet he has no patience to wait. And one thing he doesn't understand is that people or beauty can change. To be beautiful, to be perfect like the sunset needs process. Yet, the seagull has no patience. So he decided and he chose to live in the end. So I'm going to give you a brief analysis regarding to this. So this poem has 12 lines. It was simple. It's really simple and meaningful, of course. And the theme, like I've said before, it's sad, tragic romance. So I'm going to start with the intrinsic element. So first, it has visual imagery. We can see that from the line 3, from the word of sunset. Because I was a sunset. So the writer was the sunset itself. So this sunset gives us, a portrayal of temporary beauty, starting from the late afternoon until the night takes over, or the darkness takes over. So it gives us a sense of, sight. And secondly, it shows us a tactile imagery or the experience of the senses of touch. We can see that from the line 7, which it said, touch me with your tongues. The feeling of, there is the feeling of satisfaction and happiness within the seagull because, he played with the sunset, he touched the light, he touched the sky. It's like they're having touch to each other. And also, third, it's figurative language, starting with personification or to give a human characteristic to the object or ideas. We can see that from the previous line and also from line 10 when it said that you let me eaten by the night. So the writer, the seagull lets the writer eaten by the night. And also we can see that from the line 6, from the statements coalesced with your silhouette, from the line 11 until 12, when it said that replaced by the moon and also enshrouded by the stars. Next, we see the symbolism, in which when a word refers to a totally different meaning than its original means. We can see that from the very first line, which is seagull. This seagull represents the freedom or carefree behavior in life. So he takes control of every option and decision that he has in his life. And also in line 3, when the sunset represents temporary beauty. So sunset represents the transition of late afternoon to endless darkness or night. And lastly, what I found is about the metaphor. So metaphor is the moment when we compare two things that are not alike, yet having connections, strong connections. From the example, we can see from the first line, which this line mentioned about the seagull. So seagull and he is related. And also the third line, because I was a sunset, because the sunset represents or is like the writer itself for giving a temporary satisfaction, temporary beauty, or temporary feeling. So yeah, that is all about the story and short analysis. I hope it's understandable and can easily accept it to you all. So that is all about my video today. I do sincerely apologize if there is any mistakes. Thank you for watching me and see you when I see you again, and have a good day.